On a cold January afternoon in 1924, the wind blew from the Gorky forest, caressing the curtains of a small house on the outskirts of Moscow. Inside, a thin man sat stretched out on a simple wooden bed. His face was as pale as the ashes of the revolution he had once ignited, and his hands trembled as if searching the void for the last idea that could save the world from division. Vladimir Ilyich Lenin was facing his final moments. For 3 years, the brain that had moved an entire nation had been slowly eroding under the weight of repeated strokes. The German doctor monitored his pulse with a ray of hope, while his wife, Nadezhda Krupskaya, sat beside him, wiping his forehead with a cloth soaked in cold water. In the corner of the room, portraits of Marx and Engels stood silent, as if waiting to tell him something about the unfinished revolution. Lenin, with his eyes half closed, could hear sounds creeping from his memory, the screams of the demonstrators in Petrograd, the sound of rifles, the echo of his speeches in Red Square, the smell of ink on his old drafts. He could see Russia walking between ice and fire. He tried to raise his hand, as if to write a final sentence, or correct a historical error. He couldn't. The ink dried, and the paper remained clean. He whispered to the doctor in a trembling voice, "Tell the comrades that the revolution ends not with the death of one man, but with the death of faith in it." His lips trembled, then he calmed down. Nadezhda looked at him, knowing that the body that had resisted the Tsar, capitalism, and death 3 times had finally decided to rest. Outside, snow covered the Russian plains with a funereal calm. When the doctor pronounced his death at 6:30 p.m., Krupskaya didn't cry aloud, but said, "Now Vladimir sleeps, but history will never sleep again." Thus, in the last minutes of his life, Lenin departed, not as a ruler or a leader, but as an idea that continued to struggle within the world, half a dream and half a nightmare.